Hi, I'm Britt,
And my name is Alissa.
and this is SkeleTales.
And this is the podcast where we strive to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
Alissa, last night I was unpacking some boxes and I see my dog Ruby sitting outside the doorway to my new bedroom, and she's staring in the far corner. So immediately I'm laughing to myself, ha ha, must be a ghost, ha. Well, Mike's out of town and the kids are asleep, so I'm trying not to spook myself out about the whole thing. But then a few minutes goes by and she's still staring in the corner, but with like full intensity. And then she begins to growl at the fucking corner. And at this point, I'm like, please be grandma, please be grandma. But also I'm like going into ghost hunting mode too. So I get my cell phone out and I'm like taking pictures of the corner. And then she growls and gets scared and she's run off. And so then I'm like, all right, we're just going to close this door. And I look at my photos that I took. Nothing's there in that corner. No orbs to brag about. God. So I'm going to tell myself that it is either grandma, fingers crossed, or maybe Ruby's grandma.
No, totally grandma. A ghost. Your new house is haunted. No. Absolutely. This is just the beginning. I can't wait.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And the floors are so creaky upstairs too. And there's been a couple of times I hear a creak and nobody's there. And I'm like, don't do it. Don't. Grandma. Hi, Grandma. Hi.
Maybe you said you got a real good deal on this house, huh? It was a real weirdly good deal that you rented. Okay. I wonder what happened in that house before you moved in there, Britt.
Oh my God, I know. So we got our address changed with the post office, and you can do a thing called informed delivery now, where it like shows you what mail is coming.
Yes, I have that.
We've now gotten mail from like under four different names. And so now I'm like, how many people have lived in this house?
Oh my, high turnover.
I really like this house. So I'm hoping that, I've got tips and tricks. If it's haunted, I can like befriend the ghost. And like, I'm strong enough to say, you stay in the corner. Don't bother Ruby.
Get out the crystals.
Throw some crystals.
What'd you say the address was? Like 666 Hell Street? I told you should. That sounded like bad news to me, but you're like, no, it'd be fine. I got my crystals. I'm cool. You get what you give, Britt. Oh, I don't know if that applies.
What you get. Yeah. Quick side note before we begin. I have this magical too perfect to be true living in Oregon has attacked my system, and I have crazy allergies. So just so everyone knows, I am not sick.
She's been crying.
I have the Rona.
She can barely hold it together. She's so scared of this ghost.
Maybe the ghost is haunting me with allergies, but if I'm sneezing or coughing or hacking, I do apologize.
You got some boogers in there? Okay, I have to say something very quickly that is off topic, but it's strange and unusual, and maybe we'll go into it further in another podcast. It's supposed to get rid of pain. It's a CIA hack to get rid of pain. And it was uncovered in some was it the Mitchell papers? Again, I'll research it more. But anyway, it was a CIA document from like 1971 or something. I think it was like Project Stargate, I think, when they were doing that whole remote viewing, all that. Yeah. And so the deal is that if you close your eyes, I don't know if you're supposed to close your eyes and you focus on the spot that is painful in your body and you visualize it in your mind and you focus on it, and then you say 55515, the pain disappears.
Really?
And supposedly it's like the eye goes along the premise that, I don't know if this is all simulation, but like numbers, fractals, the world is just composed of numbers, and that is the code for pain for our body. It's like the body's code. Something else that was related to it was apparently years later when they were doing the Human Genome Project and decoding our genes, they did find a gene Wait, they didn't find a gene numbered 55515. That's bullshit. Someone named it that. Never mind. Okay. I got to look into it more.
The gene was wearing a name tag.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, look at this microscope. Look, it's got little numbers on it. This is amazing. No, that's not how it is. But or in retrospect, maybe it happened separately. Maybe that was it. Maybe like someone named it and then they're like, oh my God, look at this old paper. And then they've named this gene 20 years later and it's the same numbers.
What are the chances?
If you have pain, give it a try. It is kind of crazy. I tried it.
Have you tried it?
Uh-huh. And it worked. It worked. It like made my arm numb, a little numb and tingly. Could be placebo effect.
Way.
But over and over again, there's people who are like, this is fucking weird. It really worked. Like, why did that work?
55515.
Yep. 55515. And
all right, listeners, holler at us.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Let
What's
us
your
know.
pain? Did it heal it? You can send Alissa a thank you note.
Yeah. Or the CIA. They love thank you notes.
Known fact.
Okay. But do we just talk about ghosts and corners?
Oh my God. At almost every episode. No, we tell tales of the strange, paranormal, unusual.
Close enough. Beautiful.
Podcast.
Good job.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
Didn't flow as well as you, but I got it. Do you have any good stories for today, Alissa?
I do actually, Britt. Funny that you should ask. I do. I have another spooky story from friend of the podcast, Dione.
Oh, I remember Dione.
So she was the one that I ran into at a party and we had like a mini freak out. Like she fangirled and I, what's the opposite of that? I was like, oh my God, someone listens to us.
I'm a star.
I star-girled. Oh, that sounds...
Star girl.
But anyway, so Dione wrote in yet again with another story. And she said, oh, okay. She explains it in the story. Hello, Alissa and Britt. This is Dione. I fangirled Alissa at a party and Katie's next door neighbor. Katie, number one fan of the podcast. Katie. I have another story I'd love to share with you. This is actually not my story. She was my best friend when I was in my early 20s, so I'll change her name. By the way, totally acceptable.
Oh,
steal other people's
stories.
Send them in.
Hell yeah. all of them. We want to hear them. Yes.
This was in the late 1990s to early 2000s. Mel and her family found a new rental in Federal Way, Washington. It seemed like a great two-story home with a room for everyone. There was one room in the house that just felt off. The room felt freezing, no matter how high the thermostat was set to. The room was a bedroom, but they ended up using it as storage because everyone could not get over the uneasy or off feeling. Also, the dog did not like the cold room or the backyard.
Dogs know.
Mel's parents eventually met some neighbors and they made a comment something like, I cannot believe someone is finally living in that house. Dad asked what they meant. The neighbors said that the home was for sale for a very long time, at least over a year. The owner had to disclose that there was a murder-suicide that occurred in the house. She says, in parentheses, of note, he did not have to disclose that fact to renters. Which is kind of fucked up. I didn't know that.
That is pretty bad.
The owner's partner and him had about 3 to 4 children. This mom had recently had their last baby and is suspected to have had postpartum depression. After the dad went to work one day, she gathered up the kids and bathed each child and then killed them. I believe she drowned each.
This is horrible.
She then laid out their bodies on the bed in the now freezing cold room and then died by suicide. Dad came home and found his whole family dead.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
From what I remember, the homeowner could not bring himself to live there, at least not long. He planted a tree for each person who died in the home's backyard. The neighbor told Mel's parents about that piece as well. The home was put up for sale, but no one wanted to buy. Weird things happened to Mel's family in that house. Mel's mom slipped and broke her back when she was walking down the stairs.
Jesus.
Yeah. Although not physically in the house at the time, but while he was living at the house, Mel's brother broke his back while snowboarding.
Oh my God.
The house physically scared me and made me feel sick, even before I knew the home's history. I never stepped foot in the house. Mel and her family moved out quickly, too. Once they moved out, everything was fine again and recovered. Congratulations on your recent move, Britt. Thank you for your podcast and helping my workday go faster and more enjoyable. Dione.
Dione. Oh, my God. That might be the most haunted, cursed house that we've heard yet on the podcast. What a nightmare.
I think it's interesting that Dione like got the bad vibes even before. Like those places where you're like, something is not right about this place. And then to hear that story.
Yes.
So the guy who rented them the house
his
had
family
lost his whole family in that house.
Oh, God.
And didn't have to disclose it.
We, in our old Texas home, our neighbor across the street, she was alcoholic and ended up dying in her home of the illness. But nobody found her body for several weeks. And we discovered that she died. I don't know.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say we discovered the body. I thought
no.
I don't know.
I don't know if it was a family member who like was trying to get a hold of her and couldn't, but we walked out and there was like, police tape around and vehicles. And yeah, turns out, it had been alcohol, no nefarious activity. The sad thing is her poor little dog had been in the house for all of that time too. And I was like, that dog probably ate part of the body, right? Like, what else was it going to eat? Anyways, fast forward, and some renters came to live in the house, and it was this beautiful family. And I was like, I like these people. I am not telling them at all. But our neighbor, of course, immediately is like, guess what happened in the house before you guys moved here? A lady's rotting body was in there. And I was like, no, neighbor, don't tell them. So I'm just envisioning as Dion's telling this story, I was like, I know that neighbor. The neighbor who's just like, let me tell you all the juicy, gory details that you didn't want to know about your house.
It's so classic. No, people love that sort of stuff.
They love to do it.
Wait, was the name of the city you moved to Federal Way in Oregon? Is that the name of the city? Washington? Is this your house?
What? Oh God, with the hot. No, the room is really cold, actually.
Oh my goodness. In the corner. But yeah,
no, I would
and you're
have
a tenant.
to move out.
Dude, this is,
no.
It is, the evidence is stacking up. Have you Googled your address?
I haven't. Oh shit. I've got some homework to do.
Murders in the area. My
address 666 Devil's Way.
What do you do with a house like that? Do you just tear it down? I kind of think like Columbine School and stuff, like when they or even that Uvalde, like just bulldoze those places. Why are we trying to keep them standing? Like just knock those fuckers down. There's nothing good there. Make a park, make a memorial, make a monument, maybe rebuild a school, but do not I don't know. That's pretty bad. I mean, what is he supposed to do? He can't lose his investment either though, but that's just terrible. That's
there. I've discovered, cause we're renting now, but we are looking to buy. And I asked our realtor, here in Oregon, do people have to disclose if the house has had a murder or if it's haunted? I mean, the number one question. Hi, realtor, is there a murder?
I love that you asked her that. That is so funny.
Right away too. You do not have to disclose it here. You can if you want to, but in Oregon, you do not have to disclose it.
No, I think there's a lot. It's called a stigmatized property, I think, when you have to. And I think different states, I think, and then some are you don't have to disclose necessarily if someone died in the house, but you have to disclose if there was a violent crime or a murder or something like that. There's different levels of it. I can't remember. And I do think there's a waiting period or it expires after a certain amount of time, but or it's only if you ask. It's do not ask Don't ask, don't tell, or whatever that policy is. I believe that's
I'm
it.
asking.
You obviously asked,
asking.
which is hilarious. I'm sure your realtor's like, oh, I got a hot one. Got a live one here. Oh, boy. Did you say, I want the most haunted house? And if so, please sell me that house.
Well, but then I because podcast and also me, I was like, well, have you shown any houses that are haunted? And she's like, no, but I've shown some that were around cemeteries. Not a great answer.
So diplomatic. You need a new realtor. Sorry, realtor. Listen to the podcast.
Dione, thank you so much for sending in this story. And you are an inspiration to all to gather stories from friends, y'all.
Yes.
If you have a friend with a good story, send it in.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a story about a house and a haunting. I have another story for us. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. This comes from Anonymous. One night when I was around 6, I woke up with a strange sensation that someone was staring at me. For some reason, my body had the urge to sit up. When I sat up, I saw a dark, very clear figure of a woman standing in the corner near my light switch. She kind of looked like my mom. Weirdly, I could make out the individual strands of hair and facial features and wasn't scared in the slightest. I simply climbed down from my tall bed, walked right up to the figure to the point that I was standing directly in front of her. I stood there for a few minutes, and it didn't move, not a single bit. It just stared at me. The creepy part occurred when I flicked the light on. The dark figure of the woman that I thought was my mom vanished. I later told my mom about it, and she said my description of it very accurately resembled my great-grandmother, whom I had never met. There are countless other stories of things that have happened in my house, like seeing a little boy running across our landing giggling, or my parents hearing a baby cry in our bathroom. That's a nightmare. Needless to say, I've come quite accustomed to seeing this stuff, and I've never been startled or scared of what happens.
Okay, she says that the creepiest part was when she flicked the light on and it disappeared.
Not that the dark, staring, figured woman.
Yeah, it would it would be way creepier if she was just still standing there after you flipped the light on. I'm like, that's the part of the story that brings me relief. I'm like, thank God,
good.
She went away.
Yeah, same.
I like that. The kid ghost seems so creepy, but there is something also a little joyful about a little like giggling running ghost.
Kid.
Yeah.
Giggling child, sure, I'll take that. Crying baby anywhere in the house?
No.
Crying ghost baby? No.
Yeah.
No.
And speaking of haunted houses, like what happened in that house if it's got babies and little boy, like a whole family of
oh my God,
ghosts.
Maybe it's Dion's friend's house. Oh shit. It's all connected.
That would be insane. That would be wild. I read a story because immediately as soon as anyone's like, oh, I woke up and I saw that, I often think of the sleep paralysis. But I think if you're able to like move and turn on a light, like that's not sleep paralysis anymore. Like sleep paralysis is literally like you cannot move and you're just at the whim of whatever demons or beings or vision like figures are around you.
Right. I told that story mostly as a comfort to myself because of what Ruby saw in my bedroom. And I'm hoping it just like my great grandmother, just like staring at me in the corner. Hopefully not creepily.
Yeah, maybe it's like a guardian angel or something that's like, or the Saint Christopher, the spirit, the saint of travelers, just a little protection. Although she growled, not a good sign.
Who growled?
Ruby growled.
Oh, Ruby growled.
Yeah.
I know. I was reading up about it just to see I was trying to find a story to comfort me and everyone was like, if the dog's growling, it's a demon. I was like, fuck. Damn it.
Did all the neighbors when you walk in just kind of like when you moved in, like kind of like gather in their driveways and like whisper and stare a little bit?
They're like biting their knuckles of like,
yeah, a little side eye and like,
oh boy.
Good luck.
No, so far our neighbors have been lovely. But now that you mention it, I will ask and be that crazy person of like, hey, so
anything weird happen here?
Yeah. Tell me the
How many
juice.
people were murdered in this house? Be honest with me.
Exactly.
That's
be honest.
Lead with that.
I did hear that our neighbors or the people who lived here before us were a nightmare. Like they were, they like stayed up really late, smoking and drinking and yelling in their backyard.
Well,
so
they sound fun. What do you mean? Nightmare? One person's nightmare is another person's dream.
Party. I know. What do you got? What do
I
you got
have
going on over there?
I have a little bit of a cursed house story.
I am here for it.
Okay, so my next story is from Rod. And Rod says that long ago, a friend of mine named Sam lived in a house in Echo Park area of Los Angeles in what I would call a haunted forest through most of the 1990s. He had a roommate, another fellow who worked at the same financial building across the city. This house was on a strange hillside that was not accessible by an ordinary road. The normal streets would get you close to the house into a small parking area, but then on foot, one had to walk along a concrete drainage path, a gutter essentially, which zigzagged down the hill a bit, passing by a small cottage, which I never visited. And the drainage path ended at a second rented house. Here, the two roommates made their home. It turned out that sadly, in the 1970s, the bottom of the hill the house was built on was the place a murder victim was found. A victim in one of the sad, sensational news stories at the time. The landlord of the house had kept the story quiet so as not to frighten away renters, but the story came out and this disturbed the two roommates. The house was pleasant in many respects, but there was something odd about the whole area. As is often the case, the unusually low rental price for the house made it too affordable to leave. Are we seeing a theme here?
Uh-huh.
Britt's going to just start packing up her house like she's like done a new rental. Okay. This hillside was very much a jungle of small trees and shrubbery growing somewhat wildly everywhere. Visiting at night meant dealing with the large spiders that spun tough webs anywhere randomly. The path down the hill was not lit, and often spider webs would hit one in the face, which is a horrible feeling. Long sticks were left near the path for travelers to use at night, waving a stick in front of you to whisk away spiders and webs as you walked. The roommates would fairly often hear weird shrieking sounds coming from the forest at night and would stand outside sometimes listening to the sounds, trying to figure out what they were, because they didn't sound human or really animal either. Echoing shrieks that happened in intervals. They could never get a sense of what direction the sounds came from. This city is called Echo Park, after all.
Ooh.
There was a strange coincidence related to this house and related to a house in nearby Van Nuys, N-U-Y-S. Is that how you say
That sounds
Okay.
right. I've heard of that before in California.
Okay. Which I rented for about a year in 1990. I moved into that house in 1990, also with a roommate, a house I didn't choose, but which became available by circumstance. The Van Nuys house was not in good shape, but it was affordable. My room had windows with one pane of broken glass with a jagged hole. The landlord never fixed things. And one curious thing, someone who had lived there before had taken a glass etching tool and carefully etched a series of strange symbols like hieroglyphics into the pane. And at the beginning of the symbols was a graphic of an Egyptian king's face with ornamental headdress. My friend Sam moved into his room around 1993. His room was actually a small tool room built under most of the house, cut off, small, cramped, and dark, with a low ceiling showing thick beams of wood holding up the floor of the house above. So this is Sam at the other house. This is not the Van Nuys house. The Sam is this tool shed house is in the one on the hill where the murder had happened at the base. Okay, so that's what she's talking about, or he's talking about. Different house, just to be clear. I was taken aback when I visited Sam in his room one evening, for as we were sitting there watching a videotape, I looked up and saw that painted onto the wooden beam above us in different colors of acrylic paint was a strange series of symbols which looked like hieroglyphics. And again, at the front of the symbols was a very similar face with the headdress in color because it was painted. Someone who had lived in that house before had painted those symbols onto the beam. Sam didn't do it. I pointed it out to him, but he sort of dismissed it, didn't think it was important. I, however, was stunned. You see, Sam and I had rented rooms in different cities a couple of years apart, and the choices of the houses and the rooms hadn't been planned. So Sam didn't choose his house either. He just moved into it. The roommate had found it. And between the two houses was this link, a very specific artwork. And in both cases, the artwork had been done directly on the room itself, modifying the room. I thought the chance of this being just a coincidence was very slim. The mystery of the coincidence spooked me to the point that I never looked into or researched the markings. It just didn't feel like the smart thing to do.
What does it mean?
So I looked it up, and it's apparently they're like Egyptian sigils. I think it was like sigil, and they are used in Egyptian magic. But I couldn't, not seeing them or knowing. I also like tried to see, I'm like, was there like an Egyptian cult in Los Angeles in the 1980s or 90s?
Like, why are there so many Egyptian curse things happening in California?
Right?
Interesting.
But I mean, if anyone out there knows of something like that, like are Egyptian hieroglyphics used in any sort of like cult or Satanism? Or I mean, maybe it was a protection. Was it to keep out like evil spirits or something?
Was it to, ward off or bring in?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Right.
Ooh.
Well, and them pointing out too, that it's not like it was like someone would hang a cross or you hang a lucky horseshoe or something. It was like literally etched into the glass of the window.
Yeah.
Painted
it's not
on
easy
the beam.
to just etch into glass either.
No.
Like that took some time.
And I was going to say, and a broken one, you would think it would break. Like those are even more fragile, but maybe they broke it. Maybe they're the ones who broke it in the first place, etching stuff into it. Maybe that's what broke the glass. But yeah, I don't know, just a little spooky story.
So on the same vein of curses, I was poking around online to see what I could find about cursed houses, and came across Bob Vila's website. You know who Bob Vila is?
Yes, I do.
He's like home repairman, like the best
DIY
in the biz.
This old home? No, I don't know. I don't know what he does, but like he's all over. I know exactly who he is. So Bob Vila, house dude. There's an article on his website written by Anne Monique Claire, I think is how I'm saying it wrong. Anyways, it says these ordinary household items could be bringing bad luck to your home. So these items I'm going to list to you can bring cursed bad luck into your home. So get your notepad out. Okay, I'm going to make
ready.
a list.
You love that this is on Bob Vila's website?
Exactly. I love that this is the source. This is like my favorite already. Okay.
I mean, obviously, a broken clock. Oh. Do not be bringing broken clocks into your home.
Obviously? Is that obvious?
Yeah. You've never heard of that? A broken clock being bad luck?
No. Shit.
Oh, really?
It's like my favorite kind of clock. I got
It's a broken clock.
Beware
of that antique clock that doesn't work. If it suddenly chimes, it's said that death is near.
Oh.
Keeping broken things around is also considered bad feng shui, a sign that your home and soul has clutter that should be cleared. This one was new to me. Oh, are you looking around?
I'm looking around. It panicked.
The broken clocks.
All the shit. Yeah, looking at my whole collection of broken clocks.
Oh, no. Watch out. Fireflies. You may think it's cute when your kids bring home a jar of fireflies, but beware. According to Victorian superstition, when a firefly or lightning bug gets into your home, it means that someone will die soon. Keep them outside, people.
I love fireflies. One thing, do you have fireflies in Texas?
Oh, loads. It lights up the night sky. It's beautiful and magical.
Magical. You're not going to say goodbye to that magic. And hello to the PNW dark dark nights. No fireflies up here.
No fireflies.
I know.
Oh,
it's a bummer.
tragic.
It's like if this place would be, that's like the one thing, honestly. Like this would be pure magic if fireflies were up here. And now it's not.
I think everybody's like just hearts would explode because there's already so much beauty here that like it would just it would throw everybody over the edge of beauty. I can't handle it. It's too much. Lifeless decor, whether it's a vase of shriveled flowers, a taxidermied moose head, or even a seashell. Dead things in the home can bring you bad luck.
That would make sense to me, I guess. A seashell, though, that is I can just huck that taxidermied armadillo in the yard or feed it to your dog. One of your dogs chewed on its faces years ago. Didn't do it any favors.
You still have it?
You still have it. It's Mitcha. Is what I was supposed to do.
I'll take it. Next time I'm visiting, I'll just like sneak it in my bag.
Just asking for it. You're reading me a list of bad
luck.
What
I know. I'll read. I love armadillo. Okay. Anyways, continuing. Green paint. In the old days, certain green paints could literally kill you. Paris green, as it was called, was used in everything from textiles to children's toys to paint and wallpaper. But it contained arsenic and could produce poisonous arsine gas. Eventually, doctors and paint manufacturers caught on and put a stop to the toxic practice. But some still consider green walls in a home unlucky.
Huh.
My brother just painted his house. It's all green. I don't think I'm going to tell him though. An axe. Some legends hold that bringing an axe into the home can bring death. At the very least, we can all agree that an axe isn't the safest thing to have lying around your house.
Unless you have a fire. Then you can axe your way out.
To get out. I was like... A fire. I was thinking of fireplace. I was like, no, you're still not supposed to chop the wood in the house, Alyssa.
Oh, I thought you were thinking that I was saying you just hack at the fire, the flames with an axe. Like that's how I'm planning on fighting it. I don't know. I'm just picturing you see the like little fire boxes in places and there's an axe in there, the fire axe.
Oh, usually it's my brain extinguisher, but sometimes
they're an axe. No?
I think once I've seen an axe.
But you need an axe to break the glass to get the axe. It's like one of those puzzles.
My God, I know. Puzzles. An old broom. If you move into a new home, don't bring along the broom you used in your old home. Legend has it that an old broom will sweep away the good luck, and common sense dictates that using old cleaning tools could introduce pests and grime from your previous residence. So it may not be a bad idea to spring for that new broom, superstitious or not. Oh, all right, more gardening tools. A hoe. It's not deadly, but carrying a hoe into the house can carry bad luck with it. If you do accidentally bring one indoors after finishing your garden duties, it's best to walk backwards out the same door you entered to try and reverse the bad fortune. All right, I like that thinking. That's good. That's good. Oh, red and white flowers in a vase. That's very specific. Be sure to make your bouquets with lots of different blooms or keep them all one color because Victorian superstition holds that displaying red and white flowers together in a vase means there will be death soon. Oh, here we go. Bird in the house. If a bird flies in through an open window, it's widely believed to be bad luck, often signaling a death in the family. Oh my God, so many things can cause death in the family.
So many things.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this one I've heard before. An open umbrella. It's often said that opening an umbrella indoors is bad luck. According to this superstition, which has its roots in Egyptian legend, as well as Norse traditions, when you bring in an item that protects your body from rain, you're insulting your home's guardian spirits by implying that their protection doesn't cut it. Whether it's bad luck or not, it's up for debate, but it's still worth being careful with an umbrella in the house. You could poke an eye out. Oh, Anne.
That's what I tell my kids.
Poke your eye out. Scenes of destruction. Some believe that displaying a painting or photograph of the aftermath of a natural disaster, shipwreck, or battle could bring distress into your household. Oh, here's one I've never heard of. Rocking chairs.
What?
If you're using your rocking chair, no problem. But Irish legends say that an empty rocking chair invites evil spirits into your home. Oh, that reminds me of the story I told about the rocking chair and the old lady who told the kids to collect knives.
Yes.
Empty rocking chair.
Wait, so someone's got to be sitting in the rocking chair at all times, like taking shifts?
Or maybe if it's just sitting unused for a while, maybe. Yeah, everyone take shifts. Who's sitting in the rocking chair?
Oh, shit, it's empty. Someone sit it quick. At the dinner table, you got to be rocking.
Oh, this one I'm not loving. Cacti. They may be cute, trendy, and great for brown thumbs, but according to the principles of feng shui, spiky plants like cactus and thorny plants are bad luck and can lead to discord in your home. Do you have cacti? Well, I hear they don't grow great in the PNW.
They don't go great if I'm around. Like, I love them too hard and I kill them every time. I don't know. I can't. I have them. We have them because they're like, the kids love them and they keep making me buy them for them at Trader Joe's because they're like $1.99 or something.
Yeah.
And so we have quite the cacti collection. I have killed about half of them, though. I'm the only one who tries to take care of them. I don't know how I kill them.
I think it's too much water.
They're not good for green thumbs. I don't know if it's too much water, not enough water. I don't know. Odin said that we're supposed to just spray them with a water bottle, and then they create their own little microclimate within their needles. I don't know. I'm not good at it. Maybe it's bad luck for the cactus to be in my house. So
that's right.
So they're cacti.
Yeah. Take that?
Yeah. I'm fighting back.
It's bad luck now. Mirrors. Throw away all your mirrors. The end. Just kidding. While you may like to do a lipstick check on your way out the door, some traditions believe that mirrors can steal your soul. And according to feng shui, a mirror facing the bed can lead to relationship problems. I was just reading last night, actually, that it's also like for cursed things, you should never have a mirror facing your bed.
Wait, you should never have a mirror facing your cursed things? What do you...
No. Oh, sorry. Did that come out wrong? Okay. I was just reading last night that it can invite demons into the home if you have a mirror facing your bed. Kind of like my first ghost story I told about how I woke up and I sat up and I'm looking at the mirror that's across from my bed. You're not supposed to have them across from your bed.
I have one that's like in our bathroom. Like, I can't see it from bed, but like technically behind that door, there is a mirror.
I think you're safe because there's a door.
Yeah. And I'm not sure even if I like leaned, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah.
Oh shit. I'm cursed, Alissa.
Oh, Britt.
An unmade bed. An American proverb holds that leaving your bed unmade could lead to a poor night's sleep. Oh, and let's be honest, it doesn't look that great either. Well, okay, Bob Vila, hoity-toity.
Yeah, judgy. Bob, judgy.
Bobby Judge. A leaning ladder. Ladders have their place, but walking under them is bad luck. Well, we already know that one.
Yeah.
All right, and there it is. So everybody, I hope you were taking notes. Cactuses, mirrors, rocking chairs, flowers, fireflies. Good information, Bob Vila. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh my God, I sound like a hacky smoker today.
I don't know. Did I learn anything from that list? A little bit, but I take it all with a grain of salt. Like the ancient Egyptian umbrellas, did they have one? Did it rain a lot in Egypt? Two, did they have umbrellas back in the day?
I didn't even think about that one. Yeah, why?
Hieroglyphics of umbrellas. Oh, maybe there are. I don't. Maybe for. Did you see my umbrella post? I'm like, wait a minute.
Like you're envisioning there's like the sarcophagus and there's like the falcon and then there's, the like
umbrella
hook thing and then an umbrella.
Oh my God. I have told the boys it's bad luck. Or I realized at one point, like they're opening an umbrella inside. I'm like, no, don't do that. That's bad luck. Like we got to like pass on this lore to our children. Teach your children, even if you don't understand why. You'll poke your eye out is the most.
You'll poke your eye out. Well, I have told my kids, yes, it's bad luck. Don't do it. But then my kids, when the umbrella is open in the house, things are falling off shelves. They're just swinging that umbrella around like it is a toy and messing up everything. So, yeah, I'm sure it was some parent that came up with that superstition.
Feng shui is interesting, the flow of energy. I think I've looked it up to try to figure out like where to put our bed in our room and stuff. Cause I noticed when I wake up, I will end up sleeping diagonal in the bed. We have a king size bed. There's no need for me to sleep diagonal. But once Mitch gets up, I am like, will often find myself sleeping, I guess my head's to the north and my feet are to the south, but I will sleep like diagonal across it. And that's intrigued me. I'm like, well, is there something that's like my magnetic field is like realigning me to this direction? And so I've tried to figure out the best place to put our bed in our room, but we only really have two choices. And I don't know if putting it directly across from a window is bad juju or not.
Oh, yeah. So I was reading a little bit about that. And yeah, they say putting a bed next to a window is like bad energy flow or something to do with demons. I don't know. I was reading too many lists. Another feng shui thing is having things in stagnant places. Like it's good to sort of like move your furniture around a little bit every now and then. And it's not good to have like piles of things in corners. Oh my God, Mike is like the best at piling shit up in a corner. So like that's really bad feng shui. Like you need to be like having things like good flow of energy.
Okay, yeah, I like that part about broken stuff, not having like stuff around. But if you're like a collector of old shit, I'm like, I have a fan. It does technically work. If I plug it in, it will work. It just might also burn the house down.
It sure looks cute, doesn't it?
It's pretty cute. It's like mint green. It's pretty cute. But the other thing, so apparently I was talking to a friend who's a real estate agent yesterday, and she just in passing, and I should have asked more. She said something about like, talking about a client and listing a house, and it should have been $899. The client wanted to go to 9 something. She's like, well, the 8s are very like significant with many cultures. It's good luck and stuff. So you want to put that 8 in there. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I'd heard something else with, I think because at one point, at least, I'm not sure if it's happening anymore, there were a lot of Chinese investors in the Seattle area. And is feng shui a Chinese practice, art form, superstition, lore? I don't know what it is. Belief?
Instincts want to say yes.
Okay.
Chinese, yeah, you're right.
Okay. So they were saying that there's like, when you have the islands, like an island in your kitchen, and then you put a fire, like I think it was if you put like the stove in there, that is like some of the Chinese clients would come in and like almost laugh at it, be like the absurdity of doing that because of something with the flow of energy and putting the fire there in the middle of the room or between things. It was just like, so you don't do that at all. Like that's almost a guaranteed way to make your house not sell. Like just all those. It's very interesting. Yeah. I'm fascinated by the idea of feng shui. But I also get bored reading the books, and so I've not gotten too far in it.
I have not researched it much, but there are times I walk into places and I'm just like, the flow of energy here is not good. Like a couch will be in the wrong spot, and it's just like blocking the flow of like how things should go.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were setting the house up, I feel like I'm pretty good at figuring out a good flow of things. And my kids set up one room, and I was like, nope, this is not going to work. And I had to rearrange to be like, okay. It feels better now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. There's definitely a feel of things. I get that too. If Mike is the king of stacking things in a corner, Mitch is the king of stacking everything, just blocking exits, blocking entrances, like just a barrier, just putting things like right in the path of like our garage door. Like we'll just block everything.
You need to bring that axe in the house.
I'm going to bring that axe in the house. And then no one will want to rent our house after that.
Oh, I thought because you like chopped walls down or something.
No.
because of the blocking exits.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that was fascinating. Fascinating. I like that, Bob Via. I mean, I really kind of wanted advice if, like, I love the idea of Bob Via. Like, okay, if your house is haunted or cursed, here are the steps to take. Like, I wanted him
to telling you how to sage your house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is something
Bob.
we run into every so often, these ghosts and whatnot, a DIY. And you were looking at that because you're trying to get rid of the ghost in your house, or just did you stumble?
Yeah, I'm like, how can I make sure my house is not cursed and haunted? So just some, tips out there, tips and tricks
to
make sure your house isn't cursed. I have not. I did do a little incense around the house because it had the new carpet smell. So I was like, let's get that out of the house. But I think I do need to bust out my Palo Santos.
Oh, yeah.
And like smoke the house up a little bit. Yeah.
Open up those windows, though. Do that.
Hey, if you listeners have a cursed home, have a friend who has a cursed home, maybe just have a string of bad luck and you think you might be cursed.
Yeah.
Please write us in.
Heck yeah. You can send it into our hot box at skeletalespodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us on the hotline.
302-689-DEAD, 302-689-3323. And we are working up some audio clips for our audio episodes. So please call in, even if it is just for a quick little boop, boop, hey, bye.
Yeah, 3 minutes is what you got on. Oh, I need to change that intro. I think a lot of people aren't calling in because the voicemail message I listened to.
It is
extensive, overly chatty, Alissa.
I mean, I think it's 3 minutes long.
Yeah, you got to get through that. And then if you want to leave as part 2, you've got to call back and listen through that again. No, we're changing that. I meant to do that a while ago. And
on the to-do list.
Okay.
We are on all of the socials. Just search for SkeleTales Podcast. We're there. You can DM us there and just join our delightfulness on social media.
Yeah. And
what else?
Like, follow, share, review. We haven't gotten any good reviews in a while. Hey, someone hop on there, please. Please.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
There's one more thing that everybody should do.
Oh, okay.
And that is haunt y'all later.
Haunt you later. Good night.
Bye.
Good morning.
Night.
It's
at 9. Goodbye.
Bye.